One.
What's going on, New Gaming Order? We back like a juggernaut. Mitch with the New Gaming Order Podcast for January 15th, 2015. And we're coming with our... Shut up, dude. So, I can't even... He's doing it again. But... I just wanted to make a couple of announcements. Shout out to the Full Screen Network, who we're now under their umbrella for a period of time, just as a trial.
You work for Umbrella.
And so it begins.
All right,
Always with the jokes.
Black
Always
Leon
with the
Kennedy.
jokes.
But yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Full Screen for picking us up for a partnership. We're in the infancy stage, so we've been seeing a lot of subscribers. I mean, we had like I got to do a shout out video for those folks because they came in the last like 20 something hours, and I couldn't realistically pull them in before we started the podcast. So shout out to you guys, and then going around the table, quick introduction, and we'll get started. So. Brother Shinwar, any intro words before we get started?
That's it. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, you know what? I bet you Chris does it. But Goken, any opening remarks?
Welcome.
All right, on your knees.
What do you want me to say here?
You said you just grew a new beard.
Brother Noop, any opening comments?
This is your boy Noop1949. I'm trying to get more into the streaming scene on Twitch. Please subscribe to my Twitch page. It's Noop1949. Subscribe to my YouTube. It's Noop1949 as well. I'll be doing more Picking Your Brain with Noop. Well, I'll be discussing just some interesting inquiries dealing with the gaming industry. I'm not going to stream right now. I kind of want to stream Battlefield. I may start streaming. But, yeah, enjoy the podcast. We got some juicy tidbits for you.
Juicy what?
Yeah.
That was an alley-oop. I did that for y'all on purpose.
Yeah, he threw bait. He threw bait out there. Unbelievable.
You said you full of hate. What?
Shut up.
I think you guys are trying a little too hard with that bit now.
It's pretty cool.
You said you
I
go
like
too hard with that bit.
All right, and Nelson, any opening comments?
Basically, what's up? Welcome to the podcast of January 15th of the new year, and you better like the show.
Nelson, you can't demand them. You have to.
No. I can.
You have to coerce them into this.
Oh,
because
okay.
You know, a very wise friend of mine said people don't do what you ask them to do. They do what you tell them to do.
Dag.
Oh, okay.
You know what? He's right.
All right, good point. All right, so getting started.
Unbelievable.
First topic that I wanted to pick off from the Facebook page. Those of you who are watching live, if you go to the Facebook page, you can see like just a general summary. I'm not gonna hit all of them today because I wanted to keep it rather short. But Nintendo. They are pulling out of the Brazilian market now. From what I read in the article, they're pulling out of Brazil because the island that I'm from in the Caribbean, and my cousin Goken is a descendant of that. In our country, if back in the day, like a Super Nintendo, SNES, right? Whereas if you were to pay roughly at its peak was like $200, $300 when it first came out. Anybody? The SNES when it first came out?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so something like that.
Now imagine $250 some odd dollars, right? US dollars. You go down to my country, right? You would pay almost $1,500 to get a Super Nintendo.
What?
No joke. And if you think I'm playing, I'll bring my brother-in-law up here, and he'll tell you. He's only been in the country for about 3 years, right? And he was telling me, if you're trying to buy a PlayStation 3, it costs $5,000 a Haitian money. I'm like, for real.
Unbelievable.
Now, I brought that up because that's the same reason why Nintendo is pulling out of Brazil, because of the electronic tariff or it's like the tariff system is messing things up for them. So let's say Nintendo is charging X amount, the import fees. I mean, in my country, the import fees are ridiculous. It's in down there. There's things that aren't truly regulated, which will cause a lot of like corruption. And hey, if you really want this, give me $3,000 for it. Somebody gonna look at you like Noop, like what? So it's just
What?
yeah, like that. But yeah, it's
That's a lot of money.
unfortunate. Like Nintendo had to do this, even with the passionate fan base down there. And there's a lot of people that I'm seeing in the article that they're not happy with this.
She
But
got chunky.
Nintendo, like if they're putting all this money into sending the units down there, and then you got people adding like the inflation, it's just ridiculous. It's unfortunate for the fans and those greedy mofo's who are the business owners doing that. All they're doing is pretty much like now, look, Nintendo's pulling out, and that's one less thing that they could sell. But going around the table, I'll give on your knees first spotlight. But what do you think about Nintendo pulling out of the Brazilian market due to the shady business practices that are going down with the electric companies or the boutiques down there?
I'd love to see their numbers because I'm sure that's contributing to it. But all in all, this does make sense because I think Xbox didn't launch there immediately either because it was going to be at least double the price of what it was going to be in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't surprise me. I mean, if you can't sell your shit at a reasonable price, no one's going to buy it.
Yeah. And considering, like, look, hey, we have means here. There's not as much poverty down up here than down there. You expect people living, and this is, I'm saying this slightly, who are living with less. You're gonna ask them to pay more? What? No. That's the wrong answer. Wrong answer. But continue, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, that's about it. If no one can buy your shit, why even bother trying to sell it?
Okay, makes sense.
That's this isn't oh, Nintendo's going down the tubes or whatnot, but this is just a matter of them. If they can't make money there, why bother?
Okay, good point. And Shinwar, what are your thoughts about Nintendo? Seemingly having their hands tied and say, "Hey, screw this, we got to pull out of this market."
I think that leaves room for Umbrella and Skynet to step in, but that's a completely different story.
What the heck?
Nah, I feel that that's a ripoff if they're like hiking up the money for like a impoverished country. I think that's messed up, but you're right. Nintendo's like, okay, we're this shady business deal. They don't want to be associated with that, so they got to go.
And
That's
you
it.
know what's funny? The Wii, let's say the Wii U up here is about like 300, right? Down there's $1,500.
That's too much.
And then I guess I saw something, but
Too much. Hello?
yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, where are they gonna find this money? No, that's 1,500 US, and I think it's like 2,200 their money or something like that. That's like some nonsense, man. Like, that's a car up here, a used car from Craigslist, But I'm just saying that's just ridiculous. But Goken, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's a part of the game, man. The high taxes that it's like automobiles. Like when you go to Brazil, the automobiles they tax the hell out of the imports, right? It's if they're not making it in that country and it's not benefiting the country internally, then yeah, we're gonna tax the hell out of you for bringing it in. So we got to make money somewhere, I mean, it sucks. It is what it is. The only way Nintendo could possibly make anything better is to open up shop in Brazil somewhere, manufacture the Wii U's down there,
Yeah.
in Brazil, and it be a job creator in that country for them to be able to actually, you know what I mean, like for them to actually be able to have the people benefit and have and have the fans still get their stuff. And otherwise, then it just is what it is. And I'm pretty sure they'll try to get back in there, and I'm pretty sure Brazil doesn't want to lose that business either. So I'm pretty sure, after February, there'll probably be talks for about 6 months, and then we'll be back in business by, beginning 2016 or maybe even, September or October, something like that.
But for what it's looking like, it looks like it's a done deal for now.
For now,
But
yeah.
Never
but
say never, So
yeah.
But damn,
I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I feel bad for anybody. But the other thing is now, when this happens, we could possibly be selling our Wii U's and everything to Brazil for a pretty good penny.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? That's funny. You can that might be the case, but not as much and make more sales.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. I know, but now it's gonna be like people who want to get rid of their Wii U's or something like that. They're just like, all right, I'll sell it to Brazil. I'll make $200 more on it because they'll normally pay this much for it.
Yeah. So like finding the middle ground.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you know that's just shady. How in foreign countries that happens. Because I'm telling you, my brother-in-law was telling me what happens. Forget about it, bro. It's like it's not even worth it. You might as well try to get something from Amazon or something, and hopefully it'll ship it to you out there. But moving on. Noob, what are your thoughts on this?
That's nuts. I just got kicked out of the podcast for like 10 seconds too.
Oh wow, we didn't even know.
Yeah, it like redialed automatically. That's crazy. Yeah, and it's sad, because those, like you said, there's people living with less, and you're gonna charge them more. You're bleeding the people in that country dry, and they can't even keep up with society. Like this is like a global issue. You know what I mean? Like there's other countries going through similar things, and it's like you wonder why there's hatred and envy for people living in other countries towards people in different places, and this is part of the reason why. Hey, people who quote unquote may not like Americans. Well, I'll kind of be pissed off too if I've lived in a country with less, and when I finally do get a luxury of someone like that lives in America and it just gets taken away, then naturally there's gonna be a little envy, there's gonna be a little jealousy there. So I just hope it works out, and hopefully, one day the right people will be in power, and stuff like this will stop, man.
Yeah, that's some madness. All right, so Nelson, what are your thoughts on this?
Sorry about that. I had to mute my mic since my other one broke. God damn it. But what I think about this is it's kind of crazy because I'm reading an article here, and it says like their major concern was there was not enough people, like fan base in South America, to be able to support them in the sense that they wanted to make it more profitable for them. And then you will have expenses cost that it will cost like what, $4,000 Brazilian real, which is about $1,500 in American money. That's insane. But for some weird reason, as I read on about this article, Microsoft is able to keep the cost to a low minimum where it's still affordable for them to be within their market still.
It's like $300. It's $300 US. Like they're paying Brazil's actually paying less for the Xbox One than we're paying for it. But that makes sense. I think Microsoft is stationed in Brazil somewhere, and I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason.
Yeah, and then also it reads on saying like they also changed like the local manufacturing plant in Brazil itself to be able to switch up the economy so they can keep Nintendo in. But Nintendo's like, you know what? We're just gonna pull out of South America entirely for now because this is not profitable for us, and we need somewhere else to relocate. More business.
Yeah. Well, they're just not profitable in general, right? I mean, they're profitable, but they're just hurting.
Yeah. Now, let me ask all of you this: how can this adversely hurt Nintendo? I mean, like, is that gonna be something that would hurt the whole corporation, or what? Nelson?
I don't think.
I mean, probably not. I mean, it might be better for them overall. If it's costing them more money to be there than it is to not be there, then they shouldn't be there. Only they would really know that. Yeah, for right now.
Their operating costs are probably really high right now. They're not, like you guys say all the time, they're not generating a lot of games. They're rehashing a lot of stuff. It just is what it is, right? If it's going to cost me a lot of money to play in Brazil and I could save 15 to $20 million a year, or maybe even every quarterly, not being in Brazil, then they have to do it for right now until they can get their ducks in a row, So
yeah, you're definitely right about that. But I think Alex must have got clicked out of the call due to.
Sorry about that, guys. Stupid computer, man. All right, we're still good. We're still good.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
All right. Yeah. So if you guys are chatting, like I'm just falling right in. So, who's chatting during my departure?
Goken was chatting, and then I think Noop was about to say something. I don't really know.
But I'm good.
No,
I'm finished.
I already said it.
Okay.
All right, so I'll catch what you guys said on the archive. All right, so for those of you who are gonna join us after this intermission, Nelson's gonna pick the next topic. But I just wanted to give Nintendo like a little spotlight on it because I noticed there was a lot of our viewers, our audience, who felt that we didn't cover enough Nintendo topics. So I make it my business to at least get one or two things Nintendo into the show. All right,
I know
so
what I was gonna say.
what
Shout
you
out
gonna
to
say?
Nintendo. Y'all got y'all new 3DS coming out. I think the new 3DS XL coming out next month. It's supposed to have better features and a stronger processor. And I
Without an
believe
AC
it's
cord though, no AC cord. Just I'm
Mm.
just saying. I'm just saying.
oh, it doesn't come with the AC cord. You got to buy it
No,
No.
separate.
you gotta buy separate.
All right,
We'll talk
$10.
about that
Y'all be
later.
all
We'll talk about that later.
All right, so thank you for joining us for this segment. Stay on the live broadcast, and we'll keep it going. So for our YouTube people, we'll see you next time. Peace. All right, now,
Alex,
Nelson.
before you go, it's
No,
gone now. Someone had a high pitched thing going on. I think it might have been you because it
Really?
started when you came back into the call. It's gone now though. I don't know what the hell. Oh, it came back for a second, but someone has a high pitched in the background.
That probably might be me because, like I said, I'm using like a
It's
open
back.
mic.
It is nothing. We're good.
Popping.
We're good. It's nothing.
Yeah. And Alex apparently dropped out of the call again. He has to stop using his crappy laptop, as I mentioned before.
Didn't he buy a new laptop?
No, apparently I gave him the computer that that I had personally, and he's supposed to tweak it up, but I don't know. Anywho, so what we'll do now, we'll move on to the next topic. Hopefully Alex just transmutes back onto the damn call. So what I would like to bring up is that within the past holiday of 2014, Microsoft has dropped its price, as we all know, to $349.99 to be in sale pricing, racing sales with PlayStation at the time. Then allegedly they said by January 3rd or January 4th they was going to raise the price back up to its original $399. But as of what I'm reading now from Phil Spencer on Twitter, he permanently left the price at $349.99. Now, could it be for the fact that sales were going good for Microsoft throughout the holiday season, that he wanted to keep it at this price to get more, fan base, or is it something that he feels that he'll be more comfortable at with this set price range without the Kinect? So, with that being said, I guess we'll start off with Shinwar. What do you feel about this price drop being permanent now instead of just a holiday change cost?
I think it's a smart move. Now, is that Connect or Connectless?
Well, from what I'm reading right now, it might be the Connectless version. I don't think it's the one with the Kinect.
Okay. Either way, that's still good. When Phil Spencer stepped into this role, he had a lot of repairing and fixing to do, and a lot of decision making based off of Microsoft's initial command, in getting the Microsoft going. So he's dealt with a lot of pressure and from the fans and probably even internally. But I think so far he's doing a good job, and I think this is a good look in getting the Xbox to where it needs to be. My only thing is they gotta get that 500 gig internal storage is not enough. And having the bundled systems be 1 terabyte, that's cool, but if they can get every system like that, it'd be great. And they can do it because that 1 terabyte is still the same price. So it's not like, oh, you're paying extra for 500 more gigs. They can, I think, $349 with a 1 terabyte hard drive and leave the Kinect out, and they're fine. And they're fine now, but I think that'd be a great incentive for buying an Xbox One at that price.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I mean, it's definitely a great marketing plan for them to to rival Sony's prices at the time, and for them to keep it as where it's at now. And as what you mentioned before, that would be a great idea for all of its future bundles to be at this set price.
Right.
That would be great. All right, so moving on. So on your knees, what do you think about this price drop with the Xbox One staying at $349.99 now instead of its intended $399?
You got to get the boxes out there. They're still 3 million units behind Sony or something like that.
Yeah.
They're quite a ways behind, so they have to get units out there and try to make up some ground. That's what it comes down to. But the best way to sell units, as I mentioned numerous times, you got to get the software. That's what it comes down to. The price helps though, considering you don't need to connect, which they claim you needed to have it, and this, that, and the other thing.
Okay.
I got nothing really new to add.
Okay, so Noop, what do you think about this as well?
I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. It seems like, they were saying, with the whole backlash from the whole Connect thing at the beginning, I think they listened to us a lot more. The price drop, I felt like even if they brought the price back up to the regular price, I think that was nice of them to have that sale for that long. I mean, they did it for like 3 months, I think. No, September. They did it in September, October, November, December, something like that. It was a long time. But now that you're leaving the price lower, you're putting more pressure on Sony. Because, I mean, a lot of people walk in the store and, parents, hey, which one's cheaper? That's like the first question, And $50 matters because that means I can walk out with a new console and a game. So I think the issue now, though, y'all have to catch up with Sony in this. I mean, they'll probably never catch up in this regard with software, man. Sony's history is what's really keeping them in the race long term. They have so many games, and now with the PlayStation giving away free games, and they have such a deep library they can dig into. It's going to be hard for Microsoft, whose original Xbox had some good games, but it's really just a warm up. And then you got a 360, which is still kind of fresh. So it's like they need that. The Kinect camera is not distinctive enough to make people say, you know what, I want that instead. So they gotta find. I mean, they need to continue with these sales, and they need to get this software out. They need to get with these developers or independent companies or whatever, and really start working with these guys so y'all can start getting more content, exclusive content too. I mean, that's really a determining factor nowadays. That's why I'm an Xbox player more so than a PlayStation player now, is because the software. You know what I mean? I just like the selection better. So I think once more games come out, the console race will be a whole lot different. So I think it's all about smart investing and promoting the right product. Don't put all your money and all your chips in the bag for this game that's gonna come out and get a 6 out of 10 by everybody. You need to put your backing into those blockbusters like the Halos and
the Mockbuster.
Shut up. And like the Forza. I'm upset about Forza coming out so soon. But go ahead. I'm good.
For the same game.
Alright.
Shut up!
So Goken, what do you feel about this Xbox One price drop? Though the fact that Sony has now, from what I've been reading, that they're officially bundling The Last of Us Remastered Edition within every PlayStation 4 bundle now.
Wow.
So, I think it's good. Hopefully it helps their sales. Hopefully it'll promote more, just hopefully all these consoles get more titles and more IPs. In general. But I almost feel like Xbox is calling the new Kinect a loss. And,
How so? Because there's a lot of people who love the Kinect for family usage and for using
no, that's not what I mean. It was great on the 360. But how many? I don't hear so much about people using the Kinect on the new, but without other than the talking and like that other little stuff, like the games. Like, cause you guys are Xbox, you guys play more Xbox One than I do. Can you tell me one game right now that you're playing with Kinect?
Well, besides the fact that I played Rise, Son of Rome with the Kinect, that I played Grand Theft Auto 5 with the Kinect, Dead Rising 3.
But is that the voice features or is that the actual interaction stuff?
Voice features.
That's voice features.
Again, that's what I mean. Before on the 360, when the Kinect came out, they had all the games. You were jumping in a living room. They were really competing with the Wii at the time. You were doing stuff with it.
Well,
but now it's just now all you're getting is voice. You can have wireless headsets and do voice.
Well, hold on. No, I agree with you, but they have Kinect Sports, and they're also pushing their Xbox Fitness. So you you can work out and do all that stuff. And I know what you're saying in regards to games. There are a few games out there.
Right.
One to connect sports.
Sorry about
There was
that.
also that what game was that, Nelson?
Which one?
Shoot. Wasn't it the fighting game?
Yeah, I think it's
that
like
game
Fighters
sucked,
Among
though.
Us or
Fighter
some shit like
Within.
that.
Yeah, but that
The Fighter
sucks.
Within.
But that's what I
That
mean.
game did suck.
I'm not knocking the Xbox. All I'm saying is with the price drop and it being permanent, I think they're able to do that just because they're they can call. They're not calling the Kinect a loss, but they're saying, well, we'll just put the Kinect to the side, and as things pick up with the Kinect and we have more developers for the Kinect, they'll have to come buy it later, and hopefully we'll get our money back from that.
Basically making it optional.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like
Which they should have did from the beginning.
which they should have did from the beginning, but that's what I mean. You know, I'm not really surprised that the prices dropped. It's just I just feel like they're kind of calling the Kinect right now, which no one pays attention to. The Kinect is kind of a loss right now. It's really not as great as it should be, but it probably will get there. It's just not there yet.
I mean, I can agree with you in a sense, but it's the same thing that goes for the Sony camera as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. Again, guys, I'm not knocking Xbox. I'm calling it
Yes,
what
you
it
are.
is. Please stop. I'm not, bashing the Xbox. All I'm saying is that they're able to do this because it looks like they're calling it a loss, right?
Yeah.
The PlayStation camera doesn't do shit. Pardon my language. I'm sorry. It doesn't do anything. Like it's not really doing anything. I don't use it. I don't know anybody else that's using it. There's really no games. It's the same situation. It's just that Sony, like Noob said, it has a deeper library. They have great software. They have a lot they can reach back into, and so the fact that PlayStation is doing so well and the camera still doesn't matter, right? But the Kinect is just not there with that particular feature, and that's why they're able to drop that price to that $350 permanently. It's like, all right, it's not working well now. We're not selling this thing. We're going to make it optional, and now we can do that permanently and just not offer it at all and wait till the games get there and we'll sell it later.
Their approach was all wrong with the Kinect this time around because it was good on 360, and they're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna force it on them. It should have stayed optional from the beginning, and sold it separately. Because when I got the Kinect for 360, I mean that was cool because it's like, hey, you know what? I'll try it out. Then Shinwar was calling me Little Balrog doing that boxing thing, and
That jump was funny, yo. That jump was funny.
I'm saying Microsoft just handled it wrong, and they fired or moved people around, and finally the right things are happening with Microsoft. So we'll take it from there. But I know I missed a lot, guys. My computer is
didn't miss
dead.
much.
So Alex, just so you're the last person now, what do you feel about the price drop being permanently now at $349.99 instead of the intended price that they was going for $399.99?
Two things. I told y'all so, and I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen because there's no way that they started narrowing the gap with catching up to Sony, and then they're gonna go back to 400. That's suicide. You know what I mean? So I think that they're up by like 5 million units, like 3 to 5 million units. So that's better than they were before. And right now they have to put Xboxes in the homes of the gamers. So just like the surge in sales right before Christmas. Microsoft and Phil Spencer, hey, we're going to take a loss somewhere, but at least we're going to get the long haul. I said it on the last podcast when we were talking about that. I said, watch, they need to keep the price low, make it competitive, get the software out there, and then, hopefully they start supporting the Kinect, because you do know Microsoft has cut down their division. They downsized their division, as Nelson likes to say. For the Kinect development, like we Kinect Sports and all that, that's significantly smaller than it was before. So only time will tell.
Like I said,
only time will tell. But
it's a dud for right now.
Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties. And I know I got this high pitched thing going. I'm trying to. It's this headphone thing. I'll get that fixed.
Listen,
right.
Xbox has gone down in price, and so is gas prices. Thanks.
You know what? Before we switch segments, I saw 179 in Maplewood. I was like,
Bro,
yes.
it's down
What?
to 166, B.
Shit, I'm paying
166.
189 at Wawa of all places.
Oh, wait. I hate to get off topic, but at the Costco on Route 22, on my way back from work because I didn't want to take 78 today, it was 163.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
what the heck? But
Yep.
in any case, so Nelson, did that cover that Nintendo or Microsoft price
Yep,
drop?
that's everything covered for that topic, so you can move on to the very next one.
All right, so again, intermission. Those of you who are joining us, stay on while we're live. And for our YouTube people, we'll see you next time. All right, and now switching gears to the fighting game community.
Who bitches this?
There's a couple of things. There are a couple of things that we're gonna dabble. It's gonna be kind of random because yesterday we were playing Halo 5 beta, and I was like, you know what? Some of the stuff that I'm seeing with the e-drama in the fighting game community and all this nonsense, all that drama, all that soap opera reality show nonsense going on. What happened to just playing the game? All this popping off and low tier guy got his ass whooped or whatever. You know what I mean? And you know what? I'm glad he lost. And I don't care if I go to a tournament and see him. I'm like, hey, you know what? The way he was acting, it's like, hey, regardless of what happened on Twitter, it's a freaking game. Street Fighter bring the worst out in people because
No, it's happening.
Whoa, what the hell
What
is wrong
is
with
that?
your connection, bro?
He's frozen in time.
He
You
about
see
to
his
fade
face?
out. Yo.
We
He's about
lost
to
you.
fade
He's
the
like,
black.
Yeah, I think we lost it too, it looks like.
Yeah.
God damn it. Alright, looks like we got 2 drop calls because one, Alex has his useless laptop that he keeps overheating. And Noob, I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
So hopefully we could get the call back on, guys. Very sorry for the technical difficulties for today, which does suck. But I'm gonna see if I can try to capture what Alex was trying to say. Basically, there was a couple of YouTube videos that he was stumbling upon while me, him, and I think Noop was playing Halo 5 beta. And there's a lot of controversy that goes on within these gaming communities, such as the fighting game community, the first-person shooter, PC, and so on. But why do people take it to this excessive extent to make it like, oh, you gotta pop off or talk shit or go into fights, like literal fights over these games? Whether if it's for money or whether if it's just for popularity and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird how it's getting worse and worse as like the time goes on. And of course we had another recent issue with this guy at the recent KIT tournament, which is a Kumite in Tennessee. Apparently he won a money match in Guilty Gear Xrd and he was popping off. You know, that's what normally people do in the fighting game community. And then some random girl came and I guess tried to grab him to DQ him out of the match, and he comes out of nowhere and say, "Who bitch this is?" Mad loud into the mic, like. I mean, what the fuck is going on here? So, we'll start off from left to right this time. So, go Ken. What do you have to say about that while I get these two back on the call?
Yeah, so I think it's interesting. It sucks, right? Because what sucks about it is with esports now, it's turning into that whole social media thing where you got your Twitter beefs, your Facebook beefs. Oh, he said this, he did that, she did this, blah blah blah, back and forth. And I think it could be handled just a little bit better. I think there is some gamemanship is good. Like, you could do a little trash talking here and there, but it never has to translate into the physical. I think that second one you were talking about was very interesting. The one with the Twitter, right? I guess it was the younger guy, and then a tall black kid, and then the other guy, right? And they were talking shit. And it's funny because I just felt like the guy was just selling himself, right? Not like as a good fighter, but it's kind of like watching WWF or WWE. And when you are No, I mean it's esports, right? We're calling it a sport now, right? It's there. It's mainstream. There's millions of dollars, billions of dollars all over the place. It is what it is, man. So you now we're at a point where you have to establish personalities, and that's where it's at. And it just sucks that some of it's turning to physical. But guess what? It's funny that the first one, the guy who shook the girl, he has a personality now. Now he's the guy who says, "Who bitch is this?" And the other dude is like that trash talking Ric Flair. Woo! This is why all the trash talking. So he'll be known for that. That's gonna be his MO now. Like that's his character. He has to be that now. He doesn't have to be it, but for whatever reason, people love drama, right? And it sells. Okay, so if you're someone that's known for like every time I'm about to have a Street Fighter match, I'm trash talking. We doing this back and forth. It hypes up the fight. It's like a boxing match, right? And that's it. So I mean, it's interesting where it's going. What I hope it doesn't turn into a whole soap operas and reality TV shows and like gaming community guys are sitting down on couches and people are beefing. Oh yeah, and there's like fake fights going on, that type of thing. To try to exploit.
No, the reality thing won't happen after the cross, the Street Fighter Cross Tekken thing and the harassment thing going on. When Capcom tried that I don't see.
I beg to defer. They're actually still going to be doing those because they know that pulls in ratings for them.
Yeah, people love that. People love drama.
Not necessarily Capcom, but like other companies will delve into this. Probably like MTV or other companies in general. But
you know what? That's gonna lead into the final topic with the harassment stuff. Look what happened.
Missed the whole topic, yo.
Look what they were. What happened with the sexual harassment shit, and what I mean, like,
it's where we're at with esports, right? There's going to be some reality parts of it. I mean, again, it's the new WWF, man. You gotta get your wrestling personality going. I think some of these guys, that other guy did it by accident. I don't think he did it on purpose. He won. He was doing his thing. He was excited. Everyone does it when they win, But like, it's a weird place, and I hope it could be good and it could be bad, right? Because some of it could lead to violence, which I hope it never does, right? And that we're smart enough.
But Low Tier God looked like he was about to bring it there. You know what I mean? Like,
well, which one was that? Which one was that?
He was fighting.
Yeah. Low Tier. No, I think he was just selling himself, right? It's like listen to Mayweather or somebody
selling himself. He embarrassed himself. You talking all that shit,
and then he lost. And
you lost.
Yeah, but
come on, man.
It happens to the best of us, right? I mean, like it's like Adrian Broner got knocked out by Marcos Maidana. The people who watch boxing, but it happened, right? He was talking all that junk, right?
But he did that necessarily because of the fact that he beat Viscount online. This was like an online warrior type bullshit.
He
confronted him in person, and Viscount was like, "All right, no, I ain't gonna say shit. I'm gonna body you real quick, and I'm gonna say just watch the taste of the, watch you."
It was good. He deserved it. He deserved it.
Your mouth, yo.
He said one day you're gonna have to face me. He said one day you're gonna have to face me, and you're gonna have to take my dick out of your mouth. He deserved it.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you something about that. You see, at the end of the day, from when I used to do kickboxing, when I freestyle wrestled, I played football and all this other stuff. I did art competitions, or I was doing comic book stuff. I was Catholic when I was there. The thing, at the end of the day, you must stay humble.
Oh yeah.
It's just the game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's what, before I had my technical difficulty, because my laptop completely died. Like, it's done. I have to buy a new one Saturday. But at the end of the day, you have to remain humble. That's why people like Floyd Mayweather can't stand him. The dude, like, talks too much shit. And then one day, when he finally gets to somebody who's better and they beat you, what are you going to do?
But it sells.
What's your worth?
It
you
sells.
know what I mean?
It sells. You can get the
it sells, but guess what? It's not about these people. It's about the damn game. Justin Wong never had to do that. Daigo never had to do that. You know what I mean? You got all these other people who pretty much, went through the ranks, did their thing. I mean, Sanford, all of them don't have to get caught up in that. But then again, it happens. He like with the Triforce thing. Yeah, I know it happens, but I
beg to
believe
defer.
that whole thing with the drama outside of the game. I believe that they need to maintain the sportsmanship. You go in, you do your thing. If it's supposed to be this, soon to be mega esports thing, or trying to have gaming at the Olympics and stuff, you think that sort of behavior is going to be acceptable? No. That's why low tier god became a low tier bitch. And I'm done.
Okay, Alex. So since this was your topic at hand, pick another member out of the lineup and let them have their say.
All right. Well, I don't know who was saying. You can keep leading it because.
Goken already had his piece, and so did you. So you have the
All right. So Shinmore, what are your?
I'll go last. Go ahead, guys.
All right,
You
guys.
said you
So
crashed.
What was the topic? I wasn't in the call. I got kicked out and then I got called back.
all right. So hold on. So we'll let you go beforehand. So on your knees, what do you think about it? And then we'll do new bench.
E-drama. Fighting.
Yeah, shit happens. It adds to the entertainment. I don't see any problem with it. And the best part about seeing someone like that, who likes to run their mouth, is watching them get beat eventually. Just like the guy who was asked, how is he going to wash the taste of the winner's dick out of his mouth? And I believe that was the line. He's like, "What are you going to do how are you going to wash the taste of my dick out of your mouth?" I believe was the line, or at least that's what I saw. Or you have Snorlax trying to attack that other guy, but that's a whole other thing.
Damn, that's low, Chris. That's low.
That wasn't even my comment. I'm trying to find them on one of the sites, but I can't find them now. But there were some hilarious comments about that one.
But let me ask everybody, I guess collectively, is it necessary? Now, Goken made some good points, like, yeah, you're going to need personalities. It's going to be like, WMA Masters and WWE and all this other stuff. But when you focus on the personalities of these players in the fighting game community, it's taking away attention from the game itself. You know what I mean?
I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
I think it does. To me, it's a distraction. I'm like,
you still watch Ric Flair get in the ring and do his thing after he did all his trash talking. You still watch Macho Man Randy Savage come in the ring, do his leg drops, elbow drops off the top.
Yeah, when he was alive, it was entertaining. I get you.
There you go. If I talk so much junk, and I just think
that's something you watch. This is a game you play.
But Alex, those lines are blurred now. It's the same thing. You're just not seeing it.
No. Goken, you are right, because the thing is, Alex, you're talking about it in a tournament perspective. We actually watch these things like if they're actual events. And the same thing progresses onward, just like how he made the reference to wrestling, how you would still watch wrestling after all the shit talking that Ric Flair would do, or Macho Man, or even John Cena, Hulk Hogan. It's the same thing with these people. They're captivating a personality that will try to capture you. Like, okay, he's the shit talker. He just sucks. This guy's mad good. Like, you have your particular players that people will watch, like Puerto Rican Balrog, Justin Wong, Sanford Kelly, IFC Yipes, and so forth. They're just trying to make it, their thing to be like, okay, you will watch me after I do this.
Yeah, come watch me. Come watch me do my thing.
No, you know what? I will have to say, y'all made a good point. As you were saying that, Nelson, I really was processing it. You're right, but guess what? It's not my cup of tea. I've never been a part of gravity. I never gravitate towards drama. I had too much of it in my life. You know what I mean? So the one thing that I enjoy to do is play games. Right? If I'm going to East Coast Throwdown or whatever, and this dude's gonna be here, I got beef with him and all that, and then it's like, you know what I mean? Then you got folks not showing up to tournaments because they're afraid somebody gonna get smacked in the mouth and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they just need to stop it, man. Like, it's just something that we all enjoy, and they're taking it to another level. They're on some next stuff. You know what I mean?
I think you could do it.
The NFL and NBA and all this. Oh, LeBron James is gonna beat up somebody, and they're gonna come watch the game just to see an altercation. And then let's say the altercation doesn't happen. It's like, focus on the game that's happening on the court, or that your team trying to make that first down. All this extra is just extra.
Yeah, but you get to focus on it. You're forgetting that you still get to see the fight. You're waiting for the event. The event actually happens, and you get to see, oh, this guy that was talking all that junk actually has skill, or he actually sucks.
But then you
Right?
know what? You
Yeah.
see, you know what?
But-
And,
but-
and, and
but-
Shinwar.
Hold on. To cut it short, give time to Noop, give time to Shinwar. We don't want to overtake this into like a stretch length segment.
Alex,
Noop, say
Shut
your
up,
piece. Then next Shinwar, then you can close it out, Alex.
could you please repeat the question, Alex?
I'll say it real quickly. Basically, what we're talking about is the controversy that has been going on within the gaming community itself, with the potential drama in the fighting game community, the FPS community, even in the PC community with StarCraft or League of Legends or, and so on. And it's gone out of control. Now, how these people like to talk shit before the match or even pick fights purposely with people just to start bullshit controversy just to get some pop. So
Okay. Well, like anything else, is good and bad. Bad because now people are looking at the gaming community because it's getting bigger, and they're like, wait, is this violent? Kind of like if you look at battle rap, a lot of that, some fights have broken out. I think game wise, trash talk has always been a big part of video games. For me personally, I love talking trash, but there's a line. I think the best thing that could possibly happen is for there to be rules and guidelines set in place by the tournament holders. Hold those players accountable. Like, hey, any altercations, you're banned from our tournament and you get fined. You know what I mean? Let's organize this
Amen.
thing
I'm
and
down
put
with
things
that.
in. Yeah, let's organize it, put things in place so that people will behave. Because I mean, let's be honest, we all have our freedom, but look at what some people do with it. I mean, you just can't depend on everyone to be responsible. That's how I feel about it, though. But you can't eliminate trash talk because it draws the crowds, man. That's where the money is.
You're right. You're right. A little bit of trash talk is good, but to take it to a level where you don't know if somebody's gonna throw a strike or
Yeah,
bring a knife
that's too
or a
much
gun
over a
to
game.
yeah, that's too much, man. That's too much. Mm. All right, Nelson, you gonna give Shinwar the floor?
yeah, Shinwar, you have the
Alright.
floor from this point on, brother.
So when you look at esports, yeah, this thing is growing. Let's first talk MLG, Major League Gaming.
I
First
know
of
what it
all,
is.
we
Mhm.
know how we know how MLG does. It's very quiet, real sophisticated. It almost seems boring. This would not be allowed in that arena. That's one. Two, that beef that it started online or whatever, and then it was taken into a tournament setting. They were talking on Twitter or whatever. We all remember what happened with Smooth Viper and Noel Brown. Am I correct?
Hmm.
Now, what happened with that? That video ended up on World Star. This video ended up on World Star. So now it's a negative connotation, right? They look like monkeys out here doing this stuff.
Hold on. What?
No, listen, no, listen.
Choke on
Be-
my rice.
I'm gonna
Because
back
it's
away.
because it's ignorance. It's ignorance. Now, okay, and Nelson, you are absolutely right. The trash talking, nope, you're right. Trash talking is part of the game. We've all done it. Whatever.
Yeah.
These fighting games draw the emotion out of us because we want to be the best. We want to beat our opponent, but there needs to be I believe who said it? Gokin, Alex said it. There needs to be restrictions in a tournament setting. Now, if you're online, whatever, you got these e-thugs, whatever, talking the smack behind the connect, behind the mic, whatever.
done.
You know what? That's fine. And just like Alex experienced this. When somebody, they're getting upset, they're taunting Alex, they're taunting him for no reason. Alex beats them, they start talking smack because they got beat. Well, they shouldn't have taunted. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then I'm just playing. I'm not taking it serious, and then
Now-
they taunt and then make
Now,
me play
hold
100%.
on, hold on. In the defense of them, taunting is in the game. We all know that. But if you're doing it, and you can tell when a person is taunting you to be malicious, you know that. Now, if I'm fighting Alex and I taunt him, it's like, okay, let's go at it. Like Ken and Ryu, like, okay, boom. But if you're fighting somebody you never met before and they taunt you, and if they're beating you, like, okay. Now, and what happens with that? That makes you play better. And
Yeah.
when you beat them, and then they're like, oh,
And they drop on you.
and they drop on you, and then they say, "Oh, don't pick your T-Hawk or whatever." So going back to these guys on the stream, you're right. Low tier god, whatever. It started online. He got upset. He started talking this smack in person in front of Viscount's face, and they fought, and we all know what happened. And Viscount said what he had to say. Now that makes the FGC look more ignorant. Now, if you're sponsored, you ain't gonna be doing that. Why? Because you represent a brand. You represent a brand. You're not gonna disrespect somebody because now they're looking at, oh, your sponsors, your brand allows you to do that. Oh, we don't want to be a part of that. And Justin Wong used to be like that, but he grew up and matured. Same thing with PR Rog, and I believe we talked about this yesterday with F Champ. F Champ was the same way.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, man,
but these guys have matured because of where they are now, being sponsored and everything. They can't act ignorant, just like in professional sports, whatever. These guys go out here act stupid, whatever. But sooner or later, it's gonna catch up to you. You can't be out here acting like a fool. You have too many eyes on you.
Yes, that's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
And it's all now. I understand. Hey, I get like that too. I'm passionate about the game, and I know we're gonna talk about this later with PR Rog, but he's a passionate player. I fought this guy many times on his own stream. I think I beat him twice overall that I fought him, and he beat me a lot of times. But you know what? There's always a respect, and if there's no respect, you're gonna have this.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Some people blur the line. Like for instance, what was that guy that I put the video up when when I finally got mad and used T-Hawk, and what was that, BMW something?
Yeah, Extreme BMW. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now he was using Omega Ken, right? Now Omega version of Ken is somewhat broken. Now we're still like kind of in new territory, like what can and what beats out what move or whatever, right? So if something is unbeknownst to me with that EX show, you can go through like half the damn moveset. You know what I mean?
Crazy. Mm-hmm.
I'm dizzy, and then you're sitting there styling and taunting me or whatever. I'm like, all right, fine. Okay, it happens once, I can take it. I got thick skin like that, but when you're consistently doing that, like, okay, dude, now that's kind of getting disrespectful. You can celebrate, not saying you can't, but people in the NFL and NBA get fined for that stuff. You know what I mean? So you take that into MLG. Yep. Yeah, like there's a level of decorum that they need to, have about themselves, because if they're on the receiving end, like that video that we saw Filipino Champ ripping on that guy, like, oh, you don't know how to use my character, and like, I was telling Nelson, I was kind of mad at that. I'm like, dude, why are you ripping the guy? You kicked his ass. You beat him. You know what I mean? Just be a humble champ as you named yourself. And hey, good game. That's it. But you can't play Magneto. You ain't shit. And he blew him up. He whooped his ass. I'm like, oh my goodness. But then insult to injury. I'm like, man, if that were me, I probably would have freaking cross-decked him in the mouth. Because it's like, you're talking to another man, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. Yeah. I'm just saying.
It's just video games.
Know everybody. Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, as what you're saying now, it is a video game, and you don't take it seriously. But as what you're speaking right now, you're very passionate at what you do, despite the fact that it's only a game.
That's what exactly what I was saying. It's
you put your work into you put your effort and your work into what it is that you do. I mean, which everyone should be doing with everything that they do. But
sportsmanship is the key word.
Sportsmanship is the key word, but there's when you're trying to, it sucks, right? You can't call something a sport, right? When there's nothing to come to, man. Like, you look forward to the competition, yeah, and and there's going to be trash talk before it, and then there's usually no trash talk at the end of it, right? It's like, a lot of trash talking. There's going to be a lot of trash talking in the Super Bowl before the game, Yeah. And there's only going to be one winner at the end of it, and then that's it. I mean, but they still get the gloat and glory because they're going to be all over the newspaper. There's going to be replays. There's going to be, whatever. So there's always going to be insult to injury. That's always going to be there. And it's about, like you said earlier, is being humble, right? One, learning to be humble, uh, and two, having some type of discipline for yourself. You know,
Yeah.
you just can't be willy nilly out there. You gotta have. You can be a character, right? You can have your personality. You can have those things, but also have discipline. You know, be humble and just accept the things for what they are. A loss is a loss. A win is a win. Anything can happen in any situation, and if you understand those things, you should be good enough to just take it for everything for what it is. At the end of the day, it's just a game. You win, you lose. That's life. You win, you lose. Those are the only two options you get. But you win or lose, and then you move on. That's it.
That's why I'm gonna retire from Street Fighter.
I've
All right,
already retired from Street Fighter.
but for the sake of time, Nelson, where we at? Are we gonna hit the PR Rock thing, or are we gonna separate it?
I guess you can conjunction it with this topic as well, and then we'll
Well,
make,
it'll be like a public service announcement, pretty much, because there's not much we can really say.
yeah, you can.
No, I'll let you lead that one because I have unreliable equipment and I'm just jacked up at the moment.
Okay, so this was your topic, so I don't know if you want to pick another one for time's sake.
All right, well, what I'll do, we'll transition. So, New Gaming Order, who's watching us live, we're going to move on to our final topic, and I wanted to save that one for last because I had did lunchtime TV in reference to it, and it had to do with that Miss Anita, the feminist, trying to attack gaming. And so I'm gonna break that up. But so those of you who are with us live, stay tuned. The rest of you on YouTube, you can check out the other segments, and we'll see you next time. All right, now moving on. Now I have put a video out on the YouTube channel. Alpha Omega Sin beat me to the punch, but I'm not competing with him. He's a cool guy, and Alpha Omega Sin, similar to how we were talking about being passionate about topics, he was going flipping this chick the bird and everything. And in a nutshell, I was watching Nightline last night, and I saw how the gaming industry or the gaming community was somewhat depicted in different shades of gray, so to speak. And it's they're talking about, like, they were pretty much highlighting the negative stuff that happens in the gaming community, like with harassment and some of the mature themes in games where like women are being treated as like supporting objects in a male game. So this woman is out here running around talking some stuff where I feel as if she's deeming community in terms of the content to elevate herself. You know what I mean? Now, granted, there are some mature themes out there, but you get that in books, you get that in movies, you get that on rap lyrics and all that. Okay? So she's singling out the gaming content in like Watch Dogs and freaking Grand Theft Auto. So I'm just saying, I was talking to Nelson before the podcast where Blood and Bone, where you have Michael Jai White and the villain. The villain had this prostitute, and he was smacking her up, and then she was like, "I don't have your money," and then he runs her over or whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And they know what scene I'm talking about, but you don't hear nothing about that. But let a woman get punched in GTA. Oh my God! It's like, what the heck? You know what I mean? You had Street Fighter, you had Mortal Kombat, you got Chun-Li and Cammy getting punched and Shoryuken and freaking Siberian suplexed. You know what I mean? But nobody saying nothing.
But see, with that, you got to look at when you look at the video games, right? When you look at something like females in Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, it's not like the women are helpless in the game. They're not weaker than any of the other characters, right? Because you'll see people whip people's ass with Chun-Li all the time. The guys are getting beat up. What if I was a guy and I decided, hey, that's dehumanizing to men, or or whatever. Like you can't. It's the same argument. You can't make that argument with something that has that equal. There's some equality in there, right? Because it's not like all the females in the games are weak or anything. They're actually strong, powerful females that are able to fight with men. in the games, and that's what the games do, right? So
Yeah.
when you do have games like GTA, okay, yeah, you can make that point, but you can make that point about a lot of things, right? I mean, and like you were saying in reference to like all the other movies and the books and everything, especially when it comes to art and how women are depicted, it's a cultural thing too.
Yeah.
Just because you're in America, you're negating the fact that there's other cultures outside of the U.S. where some women kind of feel like that some of the way they are is okay, you know, like being at home and only doing certain things. Some people think that's okay, you know. Not everyone has the need to be liberated, right? And that's it's a weird thing. Everything is of opinion, you know.
Yeah.
And
then
people
this
need to-
woman, that was her opinion. What you went on Nightline,
Yeah,
shotgun
exactly.
and all this stuff.
It's
you know?
her opinion, and there may be people that agree with it, but at the end of the day, it's just an opinion, and everyone's always going to have an opinion, and you're always going to be able to pick one thing and make an argument about it.
Yeah.
Right, and you're always going to be able to do that, and it's always going to be there. She is making a voice for herself, but I think is it only helping her? Like she has to look at it and say, how much value are you actually adding? Because it's either all you're doing is continuing the cycle of controversy, or are you actually looking for an avenue for women developers to open up women companies and develop games like a GTA style that caters more to, whatever it is you think it should be there? Because you can't come and tell somebody who had a vision for their game, that designs a game, and say, hey, your game is messed up because it does this, this, and that. Okay, well, what do you think the game should be? How about you go design the game and show me what you think it should be?
Yeah, yeah. Art is art. You
Yeah.
can't tell me to draw some way and not do this or shade that way. That's
Exactly.
my You know what I mean?
My
But,
interpretation, my vision, my opinion,
yeah.
which everyone's
All right.
entitled to.
So, for the sake of time, Shinmore, what are your thoughts on this woman? Because actually, it's a two-subject topic. Because I'm gonna hit the harassment side of things afterwards, but we'll give everybody a chance to talk on the first piece. But yeah, I mean, this woman, Shinmore, went on the news, and all they were focused on was the negative and the violent games, but failed to look at all the good games that are out there. You know what I mean?
Of course, conveniently.
And remember what I was saying? Gaming has something for everybody. So who is she to say, hey, you know what? For a certain group of people, they shouldn't play this type of game because I feel some kind of way. Wrong answer. But Shinmore, what are your thoughts?
Well, I didn't see the video. I think this is the same thing like happened with Mortal Kombat back in the 90s with that whole thing.
Yeah, lethal.
Yeah,
enforcers.
right. Some things, if you don't know anything about, don't speak about it because you're gonna show your ignorance because you don't know anything about it. She's only looking at it like, maybe one dimension, like, oh, this game is so violent, blah 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 blah. Listen, kids aren't stupid. All right, we know the difference between reality and virtual reality. Some people use this to blow off steam because of what they experience in the real world. Now, at the same time, granted, some people don't know the difference between reality and virtual reality. But I don't. This stuff is entertainment, and you're right. If you're gonna condemn a video game, condemn movies, books, music, all that stuff. A wise person said, you eat the meat and the bone, and you spit out the bone and chew the meat. Let that sink in.
What?
Let that sink in. Let it sink in.
All right. And then towards the end, if I didn't get it yet, you gotta explain it to the audience.
Google it.
Google it.
All right.
Google it.
So, on your knees, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know you have a good, interesting perspective on these types of
How
topics.
much time do I have on this?
Take your time, man. No, I mean,
I'm waiting on mine too,
I've been following this shit since Gamergate launched back in September or August.
Well,
This
we might need to let
this
you go last.
yeah, this
He said,
bitch
"I've
is
been
front and center,
following
but
this,
Noob can go first. So let's get to that.
all right, smart brother, let's go.
I just want to say this. You know what I mean?
these
The
mothers.
biggest aspect that's being left out is
Aspect.
shut up. Console wise, video games are probably one of the most protected and most secure things and easy things to keep out of a child's hand, because the only way you can get a console game of a mature level, first of all, you must be of age because they have ratings on there. And if the retailer's doing what they're supposed to do, they're gonna ask you for ID. Because I get asked for ID still to this day when I
Yeah, I
buy a
saw
mature
that. I
rated
saw
game.
that. Hmm.
You're supposed to get asked for ID. Number two, these games cost $65. If I'm a parent and I have a 9, 10-year-old, and you want me to buy you
I'm
something that costs almost
not paying
$100
that.
and it's not clothes or shoes, we're gonna have a nice long conversation about what this is. And even when I worked at GameStop, we were required to, like, if a little kid came up with one Grand Theft Auto, we had to say, "Ma'am, this is rated for mature for 18 or older. This game
Hmm.
contains sex, drugs, violence, strong language." We had to read all that to the parent. And the dumb, seriously. But the sad part is,
They still
okay,
bought it.
and they will buy it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
No,
the
no. You
sad
know what?
thing
If I
is
was
the
working at
parents
GameStop,
are
a kid walk up
literally
and he's
the
like,
parent.
"What?"
Literally the parents are the ones putting it in the kids' hands. I mean, yes, there are developers out there creating it, but there's a target audience. They say, "Hey, my game has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in it." You know what I'm saying? There's parental controls on the console where you can lock your kid out, where you can limit how much time you spend
Yeah,
on the game. Like,
that's dope.
stop trying to look at the video game industry and games in general. Say, "Oh, it's bad as this and that."
I
Third.
can't.
No,
It's
they gotta
pro-
be
it's
parents. They gotta be parents.
yeah, it's
That-
protected. It's
yeah.
protected content. Like, if your kid has a console, you literally control what goes into that system. You do as a parent.
But
And
that
you
takes
know,
too much
I've come.
effort. Let the
Yeah,
government
yeah,
parent my kids for me. That's what most of them believe,
yeah,
and that's the sad
Lazy,
thing.
lazy fuckers. That's what it is.
Exactly what it
yeah.
is.
But go ahead on your knees.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I'll try to keep it short. If we knew we were going to touch
Mm.
on this, I would have done a little more research to show how much of a massive bullshitting cunt face this woman is. But
Oh my goodness. The opinions expressed on the new gaming order
well, I can
staff.
justify it. She has it delivered on her Kickstarter, 2 years behind. Made 10 times what she needed, and she still only delivered half the video she promised. She's also,
Wow.
even though she's a massive feminist, she has known to associate with a known pickup artist. Read into that what you will. I don't know his
A
name.
pickup artist.
Yeah, pickup artist. You know, someone that just wants to sleep
Uh-huh.
with women.
I got you.
Mm.
I don't know his name. I could look it up, but I want to stay on topic. I personally don't believe she believes this nonsense. What she's spouting, she's just an opportunist looking to make money. Matter of fact, Intel recently donated to her organization. So Intel's catching a lot of flack for that because they're posting all of the nonsense she and other people with feminist frequency put up and putting the Intel Inside logo on it. So they haven't
Damn.
commented on that, but they really stepped on a landmine with that one. But they like to spin arguments, use not fake studies, but bad studies. Like Obama quoted one in 5 women get raped, which the study's bullshit because they treated things that aren't rape as rape, like a woman regretting sex, even though she okayed it at the time, they consider that rape. So that's another bullshit thing they
What
like to
the
cite.
heck?
Yeah. So that's
Unbelievable.
You wanted it.
Shut up, dude. What the All right, go ahead. Go
But
ahead. You
yeah,
wanted it.
so they tend to ignore arguments, and her ideal idea of a female heroine, even though she says she doesn't want it to be a man with tits, or I forget how she phrased it, but that's
What?
exactly what it is. It's just a woman killing men is her ideal game.
Wow.
Is what it boils down to. So
He said her ideal game is what?
essentially a woman killing men. A
So
woman
she hasn't
who,
played Tomb Raider? Hello?
She hasn't played. She hasn't played Metroid, where Samus is like.
Samus,
the
yeah.
She hasn't
I mean-
played.
Exactly
She hasn't
that.
played one on PS.
She hasn't
Yeah.
played Bayonetta. Like, is she for real?
Yeah,
Well,
Bayonetta is a fuck toy. I'm trying to figure out what else she said, but she was part of the group that was hating on Bayonetta 2, just like was it Polygon or Kotaku, one of the magazines gave it a 7 because it was sexist. So
Unbelievable.
yeah, so and that's why all these video game websites are in the tubes now because they're taken over by social justice warriors, which is the new name for special interest groups not tied to a group.
Uh-huh.
So essentially, that's why I've been following this closely because it's I don't want to see something I identify as a gamer as the rest of you being taken over. But let me ask you guys: have I been busy oppressing you guys? Because they claim since I'm a white male, I oppress everyone, minorities and women. So have I been oppressing you properly?
God damn!
Hey, you know
As
what?
the token white man on the show, I have to ask you because I feel if I'm not oppressing you properly, I have to step up my game.
Now, you know,
Stupid Chris.
New Gaming Order audience. I've known Chris for a long time. He's like one of my brothers on here. So I mean, you see, we're crazy, and we even walk the line with that. But at the end of the day, it's mutual respect. So we can always push the envelope.
We help each other out. We'll keep this on the download, but you remember who got you that new Celica, Alex?
Oh, you know what? No comment. Oh my God, I can't believe you brought that up. You know what? I'll put that as a riddle or trivia for the audience. I'll put some.
I'm actually going to subscribe to her YouTube channel so I could see
Monitor this chick.
No, not monitor. No, not monitor. I would be interested to see her point of view and just to see if she's actually incorporating. Like, see. What tends to happen is people get so focused on the thing that they're trying to, whatever message it is that they're trying to get out, but they never really look at the other side or incorporate those things. Like she has to, like she can't just be like, well, it's this and that, and they're they're sexist and Bayonetta this and that, and then not consider the fact, well, when you do play Bayonetta, she is a powerful character. Yeah, she's beautiful. She wears makeup, which all girls wear makeup, right? All girls wear cleavage. So what about those girls that just normally do that, who would probably look at a magazine, that are,
Yeah, empowerment, female empowerment.
And managed by women that shows young girls with skirts or cleavage, lipstick all over the face, makeup all over the face. What about those things too? Like, it's all over the place, so you can't really focus on one. So I'm going to do a little bit more just to see where I'm trying to understand the mindset, because I try to be very open-minded about all situations just because it just, it is what it is, right? You're going to make an opinion. I want to see if she actually is open-minded or is it just a closed-minded, it's my opinion and that's
what it is, though. That's what I think it is.
I don't want to jump to that conclusion. And I
seen the video and I've been tracking.
Well, she has more video. It looks like she has a lot of videos, so I'm going to comb through them, and I'm willing to give it that chance. You know what I mean?
Okay. One of the biggest issues with her and other social justice warriors that anytime you try to debate or challenge their points of view, you're seen as being a harasser. Matter of fact, if you were, or Alex, or any of you else would go on there and accuse her, or try to just challenge her, ask, hey, what about this the other thing?
I already did.
They would accuse you of being a white male misogynist.
But I'm black.
No, you would have internalized hatred, internalized misogyny, internalized bigotism, I believe is what they would use for you. Since you're black.
Wow.
They shut down any
They're
debate.
crazy, these people, for real?
That's the biggest issue with them. They shut down any debate. The only time she was when she was on Colbert Report, that's the only YouTube video on Colbert that has the comments closed. You can't comment on it. That's why many people think that she's that was one of the requirements for her being on. And even though when she was on there, she couldn't name one game that she's trying to fight against.
Unbelievable.
For someone, Colbert is the one that had to throw out Grand Theft Auto, but we can mention 30 other games which she should be going after if she really believes that. But that's the biggest thing. She doesn't. They don't. These people don't allow debates. Not just her, but all the people like her.
Is she a former gamer at all?
No. There's videos out there where she says she's not a gamer. Then videos.
That's the sad thing. I would have a little bit more respect. I do have respect for the person. She is a person. I would have more respect or more of an interest in hearing from her. Hearing her opinion out 100% if it was a female gamer, right? Someone who's in the environment, who does tournaments, who does the online play, and believe it or not, there is a lot of harassment out there for like girls that are playing games. I can imagine it. It's all over the internet, but it's not just girls that are playing games. It's girls.
I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna hit that like after.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I'll keep it short.
What the heck? Shut the hell up! Unbelievable! I just got that. Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
Chew the bone, spit the
She cute though.
spit the
but
meat
let me,
out.
let me stop. Nelson, what are your thoughts on that first half of the topic? Because I know Nelson hadn't had a chance to speak, but I mean, like, damn, she's like really making the community look jacked up. Yo, that was
Chew
a good
the
one.
meat, spit the bone out. Hello.
Yeah, calm
That's
down.
not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Unbelievable.
That was perfect.
I know I said she looked attractive, but damn, like, I'm not trying to be like those
Calm
harassers
down.
and stuff.
All right. Let me.
Well,
let me say my
Alex,
two cents.
you're just going to be accused of raping her, raping that.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
said you wanted to, you said she was. So that's an insult. In
Yeah.
their eyes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a harasser. I'm like a 225
You're a
pound
bastard.
nerdy guy who doesn't get none. That's trying to
You
go
can leave
after
that.
her.
You can leave that dating service stuff after the show. We need to do none of
Oh,
that.
Nelson,
my
why you put my
God.
business out there?
You
All right, yeah, Nelson, what are your thoughts on this chick? I mean, I was saying her name, but I was messing it up, and out of respect, I'm not gonna say her name right, I'm not gonna put it out there. But Anita. All right, go ahead, Nelson.
Whatever her damn name is, I have, like, oh my god. She can't come on, whether if it's television, her own channel, the news, whatever. She can't come on and say whatever her opinion is. We're gonna, her opinion, and turn it into a fact that things need to change in the gaming, the way how it's going. Like, she emphasized a lot that females get beat, shot, murdered, sexualized, everything, even run over by cars. You see billboard ads and stuff like that. But if I remember correctly, during that video, she had over a stack of games. I would say like 50 titles offhand. And she would try to sit there and section through all these games just to find that one little issue that she would try to bring up, which is females or women getting demoralized in gaming. But yet, if you are a gamer, which you are not apparently, you would realize there was a lot of violence and murdering way before this. They started this whole controversy bullshit during Mortal Kombat. Guys would just destroy guys, blow them up. Planets will blow up. Just crazy things will happen. But you can't just sit there and tell people like, oh, this is wrong, and that's your opinion. Sometimes people do know what's reality from fantasy. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just sit there and like, oh, this game should be made this way or this game should be made that way. Then why, as what Goken said, why don't you just make your own game? Why don't you show us how a game is supposed to properly be made or advertised to the audience that these companies are doing, such as Ubisoft, Activision, Rockstar, and what's the other company she tried to hit on?
The creators of Watch Dogs, right?
Yeah.
That's
Ubisoft.
That's
That's Ubisoft.
Man, her videos have millions of views. Some of them have millions of views. It's
the
a weird
why-
place.
The reason
But
why she has
it's a female talking about gaming.
I know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a brainwashing type of mechanism. Like, go ahead, Nelson.
It's
Go
not
ahead.
just the fact that she's a female that she's getting all these views, but all these news stations are taking her video and broadcasting them all over. That's the
But
reason why
yet
she's getting
you
global
won't
exposure.
get Review Tech. You won't get Review Tech, Alpha Mega Sin, Mugen Lord, and all these other YouTubers in gaming on the news. But they'll stick her right there on Nightline
Because
to
she's
get her.
making it as if she's getting assaulted by all these people online. Now, as I was telling you before
She's
the
playing victim.
podcast, listen,
it also
as
pushes the narrative that the TV stations want to push too.
Yeah.
It's all ultra authoritarian liberalism is what it is. So that's why they edit the tapes to make the Trayvon Martin guy. I can't think of his name. He was actually just
Zimmerman.
arrested. Yeah, they're making him look bad, even though that whole situation's a different thing. They're the ones that edited the tapes to make it sound like he's the one that offered his race without being asked. They also like to make certain groups look down, like when they edited the tape of the young black kid saying he wanted to get the gun. end the video there when he actually said he wants Gunn to be a cop because he's going to be a cop. Kind of shit like that, where the media has an agenda and her message fits with that agenda.
So they link up. They link up pretty much.
And they also protect their lesser. They look down on the gaming websites, but they also cover them because they know if they get taken down by Gamergate and other people who are tired of this crap, they're next. So they're circling their wagons, and they're going to try to push the standards because they know most of the people who still watch TV, mostly old fogies and whatnot, they'll buy this hook, like, and sinker. But they're old hoagies, old women, old people.
Hokey.
Oh.
I'm just trying to. I don't know.
I'm getting old too. I'll be old on Sunday.
Oh,
so like it's an oxymoron because I'm looking at one of these titles. It says "Damsel in Distress: Tropes versus Women in Video Games." How damsels in distress became one of the most widely used gendered cliches in the history of games. And then she has a picture of like Princess Peach. She has like Zelda there. Like it's weird because when you look at those things,
they're all strong women in those games.
Yeah, but they're strong women. Not only that, right? If you look at the times, you look at Zelda. Do you think a princess back in those ages where Link was carrying a sword and shield, there was armies that the women were fighting in? And history shows that wasn't the case.
Yeah,
it's a weird thing. And then you say Bayonetta is something, but she's a woman. She's not a damsel in distress. She's fucking everybody up. Even all the dudes. Like she's beating the crap out of everybody. Like where is that talked about? It's a weird thing.
Yeah, but you know what, Nelson, I want Nelson to finish up his point so we can segue into the second half of this.
Yeah,
but,
so back to what I was saying before, all of us that are going on in a random tangent. She also is one of the few people, and I can back this up with much, much needed information.
We'll put it in the link.
She makes false profiles of people trying to say, "Oh, I'm gonna rape you, I'm gonna come kill you,
that's
I'm
the
gonna
other thing.
all this other shit." I'm like, dude, we're not fucking stupid. We're in 2015 now. If you need goddamn attention, go the fuck outside and be butt ass naked in the middle of Times Square, and you'll get your goddamn attention. You don't need to do this and sell yourself all over.
People walk around like, what?
I couldn't think of any specific examples where she tried to dox herself, but I know there was Brianna Wu did it, and the other one that started Gamergate, I forgot her name, but she's another one that doxed herself. A lot of these people make fake accounts and they troll. They troll 4chan, 8chan. They troll all these message boards, and they put out these fake threats to get attention and to say, "Hey, look, these guys are coming after me." And that's
what a rotten thing to do.
And you know what's real fucked up? No, not to cut you off, Alex, but if you watch nearly towards the end of the video, you see her and someone else fickling with the computer on the website. If you watch some videos that she does not want you to see, you will see that exact same girl making these fake ass accounts for her and sending out these random ass fucking messages so she can look like she's the good person in all this. Wow. I mean, come on, man. You gotta be that goddamn degrading to get yourself on like the internet like that?
Yeah, it's an agenda. I said it in Lunchtime TV. She has a motive. She's trying to get somewhere. But this is not the way to do it.
Yeah, but let's not be so harsh on her. All right, let's
harsh my ass. I mean,
hold on. Before we go into the harassment portion, if you think Gokin, if you think we're going in on her, no pun intended. If you think we're going in like that,
we know you want to, Alex.
God damn it.
You should see the review tech video. You see, I'm done. Nelson, you got the rest of the podcast. I'm out.
No. You're not out.
All right.
Wait. Beforehand, did anyone else had anything to say on this topic before we segue into the second and last part?
No. Well, actually, I was just gonna merge it because this is going to be a hot topic anyway.
Right, so, yeah,
but
you said it's gonna be a hot pocket.
I'm hungry too. I didn't even have dinner because I'm messing around with you, Joker.
Unbelievable.
I'm hungry. All right, wait. All right. It's just dude, shut up.
Yo, he came out of nowhere and said he was hungry.
All right. Now on the same individual, she is pushing what one thing I did not like about the Nightline segment was the fact that they just took. Okay, now those of you who saw the Duke Nukem, I got balls of steel, the Ventrilo thing. I know On Your Knees knows what I'm talking about. But harassment like in the gaming, you know, this guy was running around like he kept with this thing, this soundboard. He's like, I got balls of steel while they're playing this game, and this girl was getting harassed. She didn't want to hear it either.
That's
But
not
you know,
Wow,
she tried to
yeah.
stick her nose in their business, and they just had some fun with her. That's not
yeah.
harassment.
But the thing is, it's like on the Nightline segment. I was like falling asleep, but when I started hearing some of the stuff, like I'm gonna rape you, I'm gonna do this and that, like they only celebrated and highlighted the worst cases and put it on broadcast television.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
that's what the
appreciate
news
that.
does. That's what they do. It's always the bad stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
'Cause
Like,
that's what gets ratings.
like for instance, me and Noop were playing with Megan Cakes, right? Now she's on my
Yeah.
friends list, and
What's
we were
her
playing.
name? Megan Cakes.
Megan Cakes, yeah.
Now we didn't treat her any differently. Like she's like, "Hey, I'm not really good at the game," so Noop was being like a protector, and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna help you level up and doing." Sometimes on the opposite side, and
Yeah.
it's like 9 times out of 10, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool that a girl is playing." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know,
I think
it
that's pretty
doesn't make
cool.
us.
That's the more
Yeah,
common response too.
yeah, you know what I mean? Because now they're just like with the 2% that like, oh yeah, you should be barefoot and naked making me a sandwich instead of playing Call of Duty. You know what I mean? And, I mean, come on now. If you're gonna show the bad, show the good too. You know what I mean? Same thing with the NYPD. They're showing a lot of the bad, but show some of the good that they do. But not to say, hey, wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? The ones who are harassing these girls, stop it. Like they gotta grow up. Grow the hell up. Like
Mhm.
if you're like a man child sitting in somebody's basement, like, oh, it's a girl. Hey, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna show you, send you a picture of my Johnson or my Wii, and you're gonna be like,
Wait a minute. Wait,
turned
you're gonna
on,
sit there and take a picture of your Nintendo Wii? Why would you do
You know
that?
what what we are talking
I'm
about.
done.
Yo, this is Nuke 1949 signing off.
Just
yo.
send him a link to the Nintendo website, Alex. What?
You know what the hell I'm talking about. But in any case, it's like there are some who give this woman reason to talk. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys, those guys are really messing it up. But I wanted to give everybody a few minutes to talk on this, and then we'll sign off. But yeah, Noop. Well, what are your thoughts about like those guys who do harass these girls? Like they're just giving her fuel to spread her message. What are your thoughts?
It's that's something you're never gonna be able to control. I mean, it's freedom of speech. Unfortunately, there's communications. However, However, there is a certain level of control because you have the ability to block and mute people to where they can't
Exactly.
communicate with you.
Mhm.
So if someone like when we were playing with Megan Cakes, one of her friends in the background was very racist. He was saying
Yeah,
some
he was
very
calling us the
racist
N
stuff.
word and all that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And it wasn't her, so I don't know her association with the guy or whatever. Now,
She actually
yeah, I could have
defended us. Yeah.
yeah, I could have backlashed and said some stuff, but I'm like, yo, I'm a grown man. I'm not gonna do this. So I mean, it wasn't against her, but while he was on the microphone, I muted it. Problem solved.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, if I'm playing a game and because this happened before, been called the N word and all this other stuff from players of other races. I mean, because I can't see you, but I'm assuming you're not black. So you know what I do? I
That's never
mute you.
That's
You know what I
never
mean? I
happened
mean,
to me. What am I doing wrong?
it's a fight. It's a like her point
Nothing.
can be made on from so many millions of different angles. Don't make it look like it's just women. So what do I do? I know the features of my console. Okay, I pull up the player list. I see who's saying what to me. I mute them. I block them. You can't send me a message. You can't talk to me. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's solved.
Yeah, and
It's
not only
solved that
that,
simply. And
some
and
people
beyond
need to know
that, you can
resiliency. Like,
you
come
can
on.
send reports, reporting it. You can report these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. So that I'll wait my turn.
No. Well, I was gonna have you go next, but
Yeah, go ahead,
Noop,
go.
are you done? All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Gokin.
go ahead.
So you bring up a very good point. When you need to filter something out, like you guys saying, she said she came in, she said I'm new to the game, and the first thing you guys wanted to do was protect her, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's our normal inclination. Like your mother, you're always going to want to protect your mother. You're always going to want to protect your sister. It's just a natural thing. It's inherent. It's something in you. We all, not everyone wants to do it, but there's a higher percentage of wanting to protect women than there is wanting to hurt. It's not equal.
Yeah, I agree.
And like Noop was saying, when you need to do something like that, knowing the features of your counsel is very important, right? It's the whole social media thing. It's how do you stop a bully? Okay, well, the first person that knows that that person's a bully says, "Hey, this dude is a bully," right? And then make sure that everyone in the community knows, "Hey, if you're gonna deal with this person, this is who this person is," right? And you can do that, right? You can do that. We could be fighting people online right now and be like, "Hey, this dude calls you all sorts of N words on the." I don't know why. Just put them on blast. Your gamer tags are all over the place, and it's not like you can change them that much anymore. So like you guys are saying, there's a lot of you got to pay for it, but there's a lot of mechanisms. Hey, if there's racist players, guess what? Report those racist players, and every chance you get that you're online somewhere, you put them on blast. Like, hey, if you ever run into this guy, this person's this way. This is how this person is, And guess what? Those people won't be able to participate in the community the way they thought they would. They'll have to go out of their way every week to be buying a new console or re-registering a new account. No, I'm being serious. This is
you hit them in their wallets, they'll start to behave. It's like tickets. Give them a ticket.
This is how you stop the stuff from happening. If one girl's online somewhere and someone keeps saying, "Oh, you got fat ass," or "You blah blah blah," "Oh, you suck dick," or blah blah blah, right? You know what? You say, "You know what? Take it a step further." All right, cool. I got your gamer tag. And then you report that person not only to wherever, but whenever you have a chance to be on a forum somewhere or in the in the forums of the games or on the PSN, and say, "Hey man, I played with this person. This is the gamer tag. They said X, Y, and Z. Watch out for this person." Because you're not only helping yourself, you're helping out the community. You know what I mean?
Now, Goken, not to cut you, but for the sake of time, they do that on showyuken.com where me and Shinwar, when I guess our first online fighter was CVS2 on the original Xbox, right? And Rage Quitters and all that, there was a whole forum and a list that they would generate the people who drop. Somebody I almost put somebody on the list by the name of Fee. I ain't gonna say nothing. Shinwar knows who he is. But yeah, what you said is a good point. Like, hey, generate the list of names, send the gamer tags up outside of what the systems can already do for reporting.
Exactly.
So yeah, like this
do it as a community.
Yeah, so what this woman is trying to advocate and put out there is like, "Oh, helpless and they're harassing me." Hey, block them. If they're still bothering you, take it to the next level.
And if you want to take it even further, let's say you're on Xbox, call Microsoft with a complaint and say, "Hey, this person by this gamer tag is saying these things to me," because they know who these people are.
Yeah,
they got all the information and they will communicate with people.
Yeah, you've seen things. The SWAT team went to those people's house who was playing Call of Duty because they thought the guy murdered his wife. You guys hear about that? So think about that concept, right? If it's that bad, okay, you could call the cops and say, "Hey, this person, this gamer tag," and then an investigation starts. Whatever. If it gets that bad, if it gets that bad, I'm not saying just start doing it. You know what I mean? But if it gets that bad, you can do those things, right? And there's groups of people. Shit. We're willing to help, man. If you're being harassed, we'll put their gamer tag on blast. Like whatever it is.
Matter of fact, you know what, Goken? That's a good idea.
If you feel like
order audience, yes, inbox me and Nelson on the YouTube channel. If you're being harassed or people rage dropping on you, me and Nelson downsize them and put them on a segment just for you guys. You know what I mean? Because you have avenues to protect yourself and to stop the harassment. So, right. But, for the sake of time, Shinwar, what are your thoughts on, folks misbehaving with the harassment, giving this woman, fuel to her fire? Chime in on that, and then we'll get ready to, because I know who else has to talk. Nelson got to go after.
All right, I think you guys said everything, so I'm not gonna reiterate. It just doesn't help adding fuel to the fire so she can use against, against the gaming community. Once again, it just goes back to people's maturity. Like, just knock it off. You wouldn't do that half that stuff in real life, so knock it off.
Face to face, yeah. E-thugs,
Yeah,
remember? All right,
do
and
it.
Nelson, your thoughts on this, and then we can start breaking everything down. Break it
Well,
down.
Chris, didn't you not go either,
Yeah,
right?
so,
Oh shoot! I thought I did. You know what? I am.
No. Chris, go ahead. I will go
My
last.
bad.
so I'll try to keep this one quick because you guys touched on my main point, which was you have control over who you interact with. It's not like Twitter or Facebook where you can just make a brand new page. Your gamer tag is stuck with you. It costs you got to pay what $50 to get a new
$8.
tag. Oh,
I think
$8.
it's $8. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not too crazy.
Not
But
paying
still,
that.
you gotta pay to get a new tag if you fuck yours up. But this goes in line with you got the new millennial generation, which they were spoiled by their kids. They're the ones that play little league games with no everyone gets a trophy. You got the whole generation coming up, so they don't know how to deal with any type of challenge. But it also goes to people who don't want to take any culpability for their own actions, so they want others to correct problems for them instead of fixing it themselves.
There you go.
So you gotta teach these people through whatever means. Essentially isolating them tends to work pretty good. Blocking them as was suggested to get these people to learn. Hey, if you act stupid, you're gonna be acting stupid by yourself.
Yeah. And they need to just be shown consequences. And before I give the floor to Nelson, the thing I hate to say, it's my generation, the folks that, I'm not going to say my age, but in my age group that are becoming the parents and their buffoonery and their lack of accountability where they're not teaching their kids how to act. And then they get online and then they have no filter and they're saying all this stuff like was what me and Noop were subjected to. You know what I mean? Now, luckily, Noop and I have thick skin and we're mature. Like, hey, just block them, mute them for the time being. When Megan came back, we're good. You know what I mean?
Wait, so your generation, Alex, you're trying to say that you're what 30 years older than the rest of us? I mean, I wanted to ask you earlier. What did you think about Muhammad Ali's shenanigans when his personality when he was doing his stick? I mean, you were around then, weren't you? I mean,
No.
you're
I'm
another
not. What
generation
the heck?
from us.
I'm an '80s baby. I'm an '80s baby. Unbelievable.
What?
As far as Muhammad Ali,
I
you
guess
know what?
you
That's for another topic. Like
you guess you are an '80s baby. I'm trying to just confirm you were. Kind of thought you were an old man.
Um,
All right, Nelson, your thoughts before, and we can start going off there.
Alright, basically, it's very bad for people doing this, especially to females who don't really deserve this kind of treatment within gaming in general. I mean, I remember, I think it was like 2 days ago, I viewed something on YouTube about 4 gamer girls from the FGC and also in the StarCraft community was complaining about how guys just like... It's another type of drama and bullshit to attend to on top of that, because some guys think that women ain't shit when it comes to gaming and they think it's like a male dominant sport and they feel like they can say and do whatever they please over the internet, especially when they assume that they can't be caught or be done anything further in that action. But there has been several cases like what Goken said about the whole FBI like storming this dude's house because of that incident about possibly him killing his wife, or the incident where there was these people trolling this I think this 13-year-old girl. I think she was playing what was it, Mario Kart, I believe, and they was trolling her over the Wii thing, and apparently there's a mic now, and they were saying, oh, you suck this and you suck that, and all of a sudden in the process of him playing, right, in the process of him playing, someone that was in that lobby lived right upstairs from that person came knocking on his door and beat the living shit out of him for talking crap to that girl. I mean, look, guys, if you just want to draw attention, just cut this shit out, because you don't know who you're talking to through the other side of the mic. You could be talking to, let's say, like someone that works for these companies like Microsoft or Ubisoft or whomever, and you can get caught right in the act, and you can get banned for infinity, not just from your console, but from your IP address. Then that will cost you an extra $500 just to take the damn thing off. Like, you gotta cut this shit out. I mean, well, why are you gonna sit there and embarrass yourself And this is like a game. Yeah, it is a game that we're playing on, but you're treating it like, oh, if nothing will happen to you. Everything has consequences in life. Just cut this shit out. We can move on. It'll be a nice, safer, and enjoyable community that we can all enjoy. And cut this shit. If not, me and Alex will put every single one of you on blast. If someone does email us or comment us on the description link below when these videos do come up. I don't have a problem calling you guys out. I ain't scared of nobody.
Nelson's from Red Hook, Brooklyn.
So, yeah,
but you know what? I do want to touch one last thing before we go off. This is in reference to shout out to Burn Your Bra. I had the privilege of interviewing her after her performance at Evo 5 years ago, right? She made some good points. Like I'll actually consolidate those 3 videos into one and re-upload it for the new audience under the full screen. Where me and Anomaly asked her a couple of questions, like how do you feel about females in the FGC? Because Burn Your Bra is good. When I fought her, like if you're not fighting 100%, you're not gonna win. You are not gonna win. She brings the fire to that to a fight. So I'm sitting here. I'm like, man, what kind of advice can you give to girls or females coming into the fighting game community? And it broke my heart when she said that you have to have thick skin. Guys are gonna say these things to you and say that things to you. That they're gonna be nasty, and and I'm not gonna say the rest of this on air, but she told me an Anomaly this offline when we were on that Skype call. I'm like, man, some of these guys. I have two
got
sisters.
1 and 2 on Blu-ray.
What's that? What? Nope. Hello.
Nah, I was talking to my housemate. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. My bad. I thought you were talking to me. But yeah, some of the stuff she told me made me want to find these people and freaking pile drive them. You know what I mean? Because that's a person. And at the end of the day, gaming might seem nerdy, but I want everybody to enjoy it. I want females to come in and it'd be like the cool thing to do. You know what I mean? We can't make the pool an intimidating place to come swim. Everybody should have a comfortable time playing games. It's a new form of media, and it's not going away. So, mature up, like Shinwar said. Some folks gotta just check themselves, man. But, Nelson, announcements before we go off the air.
Yeah, I guess a few announcements. I would like to say that we finally hit 1,077 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So, good stuff to you guys for subscribing to us. Apparently we got a few new followers on the Twitch side of things. I think we might be up to 158 or 159 now, which is definitely a good increase in the last 5 days. Keep in mind, guys, that we are expanding day by day. It's going slow, as you all know. We're an upcoming company. So as time goes on, we're gonna get more people, such as Noob1949. He just asked me for help on the whole Twitch side of things. We're gonna get him up to speed and with his own channel, so he can start doing his own thing and start hopefully gaining followers on his channel. We're also gonna be doing 2 streams right after this podcast goes off the air. We're gonna do a NGO fight lobby of Ultra Street Fighter 4 on Steam. And then following after that, if we do have time, it would either come down to Destiny on the PS4 with Goken and myself and probably some viewers, or even NGO Okami, or even Illustrated Dio, which is a good fan.
Joey D wants to play with you guys.
I know, but the thing is, alright, let me touch on that real quick. Joey D, I swear to God, dude, he's like an annoying little bug. We told him, hold on, we're streaming.
That's my man. That's my
But
my
dude,
buddy.
If you message me 15 times in a row and I'm not complying to you, and I told you on Facebook we're streaming, chill out. We'll get to you, bro. We're not forgetting you. Just chill. We will get to you. We're streaming.
Is he Xbox One or PS4?
He's on the PS4.
All right, maybe if he's
no,
around.
But the thing is, he wants us to join his chat, to join the other people, to do like the Vault of Glass, and I told him we're not strong enough.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're not that. Yeah, we're not that level yet.
Exactly.
Oh,
But,
yeah, they're more like pro levels, but
Okay.
yeah, we're not putting him through the grinder. We're just trying to link up.
yeah,
All right,
let me try to finish up on these things.
Mhm.
Oh, right. We're also now partnership with Full Screen. If Alex hasn't mentioned it already in the beginning of the podcast, very appreciated to you guys helping us out, and it definitely increased our viewership by some good amount. And we will be doing some online tournaments. We do need your guys' feedback. We've been saying this over and over again. We're trying to bring back either Killer Instinct, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, anything that has to do with fighting games. We're wanting to stream it in a tournament sense, but we need your input, whether if we should do it by the PayPal method, once a month as with giveaway prizes, and so forth. So leave your comments, feedback. You know where to reach us at. So I'm done with that.
All right, and for the first time, I don't really have too many announcements. Nelson got everything. So thank you guys for participating.
There's one last announcement. As of right now, we do have an Instagram account. For you guys, if you have Instagram, you can now follow us on Instagram at NewGamingOrder1. That's the username. So if you want to see anything within links of the streams, YouTube videos, pictures of what we do when we fuck around, go to NewGamingOrder1 on Instagram, and we'll follow you back. Now I'm done.
All right, cool.
Yep.
All right, so thank you guys for participating in this panel. And New Gaming Order audience, we'll see you next week. And make sure you check out the channel where, On Your Knees, Goken, Brother Noob Shinwar, they'll provide content. And we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
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 Yo.